All right, so I'm guessing this is on a lot of minds right now as we wrap up 2024. Career pivoting.
Oh, yeah?
And we're going to use an article from Forbes.com to kind of guide our deep dive today. It's called Career Pivot Strategy for the Remainder of 2024 by Dr. Cheryl Robinson.
Okay.
And, you know, that feeling you get at the end of the year where you want a fresh start. Well, we're going to explore what a career pivot really means.
Okay.
The strategies to make it happen.
Right.
Uncover some exciting opportunities you might not have even thought about.
I like it. It's interesting you say fresh start because a lot of people are feeling that right now.
Really?
Like a GoGo Banking Grid survey actually found that over 57% of U.S. adults are thinking about a major career shift.
Wow, that many.
So you're definitely not alone if you're feeling that pull.
Okay, so clearly something's happening out there. But before we jump into all the how-tos, let's define what we're even talking about here. The article makes it clear that a career pivot's not just about jumping from one job to the next.
Right. It's not just job hopping. A true pivot is more about a fundamental shift in your career trajectory. It's about acquiring new skills.
So it's more strategic, more deliberate.
Yes, exactly.
Than just kind of taking whatever comes along.
Definitely.
So why are so many people feeling this need to make a change right now?
Well, the article points to a couple of key reasons. The first is this idea of personal fulfillment.
Okay.
You know, millennials and Gen Z especially, they're looking for careers that really resonate with their values, their purpose.
But it's not just about a paycheck anymore.
Exactly.
It's about finding work that feels meaningful.
Right. And I've heard a lot about Gen Z being comfortable with switching jobs more frequently.
Oh, yeah.
Is that part of this whole trend?
Absolutely. In fact, 83% of Gen Z workers identify as job hoppers.
Wow.
They see it as a way to gain diverse skills.
Figure out what kind of work environment they thrive in.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is for them, it's not seen as a negative anymore.
So it's almost like job hopping has been reframed as being proactive, taking control of your career path.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, but it's not all about these internal factors, though, right?
Right.
There are external pressures, too.
Absolutely.
Pushing people to pivot.
The second big reason the article highlights is that the economic and industry landscape is just evolving at an incredible pace.
Yeah.
You know, things like rapid technological advancements, especially in AI, global events impacting different sectors,
So first.
and just a general sense of uncertainty about the future.
Right.
All of that's contributing.
Makes sense. With so much change happening, people probably feel like they need to adapt, learn new skills to stay ahead.
You got it.
Okay, so we've got a lot of people looking to make a change, and some pretty compelling reasons why. But now comes the million-dollar question. Where do you pivot to? The article highlights some high-growth industries that offer fantastic opportunities for career changers.
I'm fascinated by this part.
Yeah.
Let's delve into these hot industries. The first one that Dr. Robinson highlights is sustainability.
Sustainability.
Seems like it's everywhere these days.
And for good reason. What makes it such a promising area for career changers?
Well, with the increasing focus on climate change, environmental responsibility, there's a huge demand for professionals in areas like renewable energy, waste management, sustainable design.
It's almost like a whole new economy is emerging.
It is.
So what other industries are ripe with opportunity right now?
Well, data science and AI is another field that's absolutely exploding.
It's crazy how fast that's grown.
It's mind-boggling.
This wasn't really a thing, a decade ago?
Like it barely existed.
And now the demand for data scientists, machine learning engineers, AI specialists.
Oh, yeah.
It's just skyrocketing.
Across every industry.
I can see how that would be a little intimidating, though, for someone coming from a totally different field.
Yeah.
Like, is it even realistic to make that kind of leap?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the beauty of a career pivot.
Okay.
It's about identifying transferable skills.
Right.
And being willing to learn, adapt.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a coding expert overnight.
Right.
But having some understanding of data and how it's used in your desired field can be a huge asset.
Okay, so sustainability and data science and AI, two fields with incredible growth potential.
For sure.
What other industries are on the horizon?
Well, healthcare and well-being is another area experiencing tremendous growth. We have an aging population, a growing awareness of the importance of both physical and mental health.
Yeah.
This means there's a rapidly increasing need for nurses, therapists, mental health counselors,
right,
all sorts of healthcare professionals.
It's interesting to see how all of these industries, while seemingly unrelated, are all connected by these larger societal trends, these shifts.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've got sustainability, data science, and AI, healthcare, and well-being. 3 booming fields with incredible potential for career changers.
A lot of opportunity.
But knowing where the opportunities are is only the first step.
Right.
You need a plan to actually make the pivot happen.
Exactly. And that's where Dr. Robinson's 6-week plan comes in.
Okay.
She provides a clear framework to get the ball rolling. All right, so we've identified some pretty exciting fields with a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Now let's break down Dr. Robinson's 6-week plan and how to make that transition happen.
Okay, so weeks 1 and 2 are all about market research.
Right.
And what does that actually involve?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people hear market research and their eyes glaze over.
Yeah, it might sound a little dry, but it's crucial.
Okay.
It's about really understanding the industries that are calling to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just picking what sounds cool. It's about looking at your existing skills and seeing, is there a natural fit?
Right.
Can these skills be transferred or adapted to a new environment?
Okay.
It's also about getting a sense of the day-to-day realities of these professions.
So not just looking at job titles, but understanding what those jobs actually entail.
Exactly. And a great way to get that real-world perspective is through something called an informational interview.
You know, I've heard that term before, but to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what it means.
Okay.
Can you break that down for me?
Yeah. An informational interview is basically a casual conversation with someone who's working in your field of interest.
Okay.
It's not a job interview. There's no pressure.
I see.
It's just a chance to ask questions, get insights into their career path, and learn about the industry from someone who's already in it.
So it's like picking the brain of someone who's already where you want to be.
Exactly.
That sounds incredibly valuable.
It is.
Especially if you're coming from a completely different background.
And you'd be surprised how willing people are to share their experience, offer advice. The article emphasizes that networking is key during weeks 3 and 4 of the plan.
Okay.
And these informational interviews are a big part of that.
So I imagine LinkedIn's a good place to start.
LinkedIn is definitely a useful tool.
Yeah.
But Dr. Robinson encourages going beyond that.
Okay.
Think industry-specific forums, websites, even online communities like Reddit.
Oh, wow.
You'd be amazed at the insights and connections you can find in those spaces.
I never thought about Reddit as a networking tool.
I know, right?
That's a great tip. So you've done your research, made some connections. Okay. What do weeks 5 and 6 look like?
Weeks 5 and 6 are about immersing yourself in the field.
Okay.
Attending conferences and webinars, whether virtual or in person, is a fantastic way to get up to speed on the latest trends, connect with people in the industry.
Okay.
Websites like Eventbrite, or even just a simple Google search, can help you find events happening in your area of interest.
Soaking it all in. What else can you do to really immerse yourself?
Well, staying current with industry publications, market reports is key.
Oh, yeah.
This will give you a broader perspective on the challenges and opportunities in the field.
Okay.
And don't overlook transition programs and mentoring opportunities.
Oh, right.
There are organizations and career coaches that are specifically designed to help professionals make these successful pivots.
That's great.
The article even mentions General Assembly's tech boot camps as an example.
I've heard those.
Yeah.
So it sounds like weeks 5 and 6 are all about taking action, putting that knowledge into practice.
Exactly.
But I imagine there's more to a successful pivot than just acquiring the skills, right?
You're right. It's not just about what you can do. It's about being able to articulate why you're making this change. Right? That's where crafting your story comes in.
Okay, tell me more about this crafting your story piece.
Okay.
It sounds a little, I don't know, touchy-feely.
It's more about connecting the dots for potential employers.
Oh, okay.
You need to be able to explain how your past experiences, even if they seem unrelated, have actually prepared you for this new direction.
Yeah.
It's about demonstrating how your skills and passions have led you to this point.
So it's like building a bridge between your old career and your new one?
Yes.
Showing how it all makes sense.
Exactly. It's about showing them that this isn't a random leap.
Right.
It's a natural progression.
I see.
Of your career journey.
That makes a lot of sense. So we've covered a lot of ground here. Yeah. We talked about why people are pivoting, the hot industries with all this opportunity.
Right.
Dr. Robinson's 6-week plan to make it happen.
And I think it's important to remember that a successful career pivot isn't about making this drastic overnight change.
Right.
It's about taking those strategic steps week by week.
Exactly.
To build toward your new goal.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. What stands out to you as the most important takeaway for our listeners?
I think even just having this knowledge, understanding what a pivot really entails and that there are these concrete steps you can take.
Yeah.
That's a huge first step in itself.
I love that. Knowledge is power, as they say.
Yeah.
So let's just quickly recap the key points for our listeners before we move on. We learned that a career pivot is about intentional career shifts driven by both personal and economic factors.
Right. It's about finding a career that aligns with your values, skills, and the evolving demands of the job market.
We also explored 3 industries with incredible growth potential.
Yeah, sustainability, data science, AI, healthcare, and well-being.
Right, so these are fields that are not only experiencing rapid growth now, but are also likely to remain in high demand for decades to come.
For sure.
So if you're looking for a career that's both personally fulfilling and future-proof, these industries are definitely worth exploring.
Absolutely.
And lastly, we learned that making a successful pivot doesn't happen overnight.
It takes time.
Requires a strategic approach, willingness to network and learn, and the ability to connect your past experience with your new goals.
And Dr. Robinson's 6-week plan is an excellent resource for anyone who's feeling ready to make that change.
Right.
It breaks it down into these manageable steps, gives you the tools and guidance you need to move forward with confidence.
As we've been talking about all this, what's really striking me is the sense of agency that comes with making a pivot.
It's like you're not stuck.
Right.
You're not limited.
Exactly.
You actually have choices.
Yeah.
You have valuable skills and experience.
Right.
And you can use those to create a future that's both fulfilling and sustainable.
It's like taking control of your own destiny rather than letting things just happen to you.
And that's so important, especially in today's world.
Right.
It's easy to feel overwhelmed with all the uncertainty.
Yeah.
But a career pivot is a reminder that we're not just passive bystanders.
Mm-hmm.
We can adapt, we can learn, we can create new opportunities.
And sometimes that means stepping outside our comfort zones.
Yeah.
Challenging our assumptions.
Right.
Embracing the unknown.
It can be scary, but it can also be incredibly rewarding.
Absolutely. And you see this all the time in these stories of successful career pivots.
Mm-hmm.
People who took that leap of faith,
right,
pursued something they were really passionate about.
I'm curious, in your experience, what are some of the common threads that you see in people who have made successful pivots?
One thing I've noticed is that they're incredibly curious.
Okay.
They're not afraid to ask questions, explore new fields.
Yeah.
Learn from others.
They're lifelong learners.
And they're very proactive. They don't just sit around waiting for things to happen. They go out and make things happen.
They create their own luck.
Exactly. It's not just wishing for a change. It's taking steps to make it happen.
Yeah, and the other thing I've noticed is that they're driven by a strong sense of purpose. They're not just looking for any job.
Right.
They're looking for work that aligns with their values.
It's about finding a career that you're truly passionate about.
Yes.
That you're excited to wake up for every day.
And that makes you feel like you're making a difference.
Exactly. And that's what we hope you take away from this deep dive.
Yeah.
The knowledge that you have the power to shape your career. You embrace change.
Absolutely.
And create a future that's both personally and professionally fulfilling.
So as we head into the new year, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep learning, keep pushing yourself to grow.
Who knows what incredible opportunities await?
And remember, Dr. Robinson's article is a great resource.
It is.
Full of actionable advice.
Yeah.
We've got it linked in the show notes, so be sure to check it out for more inspiration.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.